April 16, 1945, waters off Okinawa. A 376-foot American destroyer is about to face hell itself. In just 80 minutes, 22 Japanese aircraft will dive straight at her. 6 bombs will tear into her hull. 5 kamikaze planes will smash directly into her deck. Flames will rise 100 feet into the air. Ammunition will detonate in deadly chain reactions. The rudder will jam, turning the ship into a slow, circling target. By every calculation of war, her odds of survival were less than 1%. But the USS Laffey had something no equation could measure: a crew of 336 men who simply refused to accept defeat. This is the story of the most violent attack ever endured by a single ship in naval history, and how that ship earned a name that still echoes today: the ship that would not die. The commander who had already lost a ship. To understand what happened that day, you have to know the man in command: Commander Frederick Julian Becton, age 36. 2 years earlier, in April 1943, Becton commanded another destroyer, the USS Ward, off Guadalcanal. 6 Japanese Val dive bombers attacked. Becton fought with everything he had, but it wasn't enough. The Ward sank, taking 27 men with her. That kind of loss never fully heals. Watching men under your command die, watching your ship slip beneath the water. Becton carried that weight every single day. But he came back. He took command of the Laffey in February 1944, and something changed. He became obsessed with training, with preparation, with making sure every man knew exactly what to do when, not if, hell came again. And the Laffey proved herself. She bombarded Utah Beach on D-Day. She survived kamikaze attacks in the Philippines and at Lingayen Gulf, where Becton earned his 4th Silver Star. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared her crew for what awaited them at Okinawa. If you're hooked so far, hit like, because what comes next shows just how far human courage can go when there's no escape. The most dangerous post on Earth. Okinawa, April 1945. The bloodiest battle of the Pacific War was underway. The Japanese Empire had unleashed its final weapon, Operation Kikusui, floating Chrysanthemum. Thousands of pilots, many with only weeks of training, launched on one-way suicide missions. No fuel to return, no parachutes, just explosives and a single objective: sink American ships. The U.S. Navy established an advanced radar line around Okinawa, radar picket stations. Isolated destroyers positioned miles ahead of the main fleet, acting as early warning. No exaggeration, it was the most dangerous assignment on Earth. The USS Laffey was assigned to Radar Picket Station One, just 30 miles north of Okinawa. She was the first target, the bait, the ship the kamikazes would reach first. At 8:27 a.m., the Laffey's radar picked up something unusual. Not one aircraft, not a squadron, a cloud, over 50 enemy planes approaching from the north. Commander Becton scanned the horizon. Then he looked at his men. He knew what was coming, and this time he was determined his ship would not sink, no matter the cost. 8:30 a.m. The first attack. 2 Val dive bombers screamed out of the sky. The Laffey's 20mm and 40mm guns opened fire at once, a solid wall of tracers ripping through the air. The first Val exploded at 500 feet. The second disintegrated just above the water. The crew cheered. 2 kills, 0 damage. Those were the last 30 seconds of optimism that day. 8:42 a.m. A kamikaze appeared out of nowhere, flying just 50 feet above the waves. Too fast, too low. The guns couldn't swing in time. Impact. The plane exploded into the aft 20mm gun mount. 3 gunners were killed instantly. Burning aviation fuel washed across the stern, and before anyone could react, a 1,100-pound bomb slammed into the rear of the ship. The blast tore into the hull, but worse, it destroyed the steering system. The rudder jammed. The Laffey could now only move in circles. Think about that. You're a massive gray target in open ocean, and now you can only sail in loops, a sitting duck. And there were 20 more planes inbound. What followed defies any clean timeline. It was pure chaos. 8:45 a.m. A Kate bomber attacked from the stern. Its bomb struck Mount 53, the main gun turret. The explosion ripped the turret open. All 6 men inside were killed instantly, including Chief Schaefer. Burning fuel flooded the compartments below. Ammunition began to cook off, 5-inch shells detonating from heat, firing wildly across the deck. 8:50 a.m. Another kamikaze slammed into the fantail. A gaping 8-by-10-foot hole tore through the deck. 6 more men died instantly, including signalman Bill Kelly. In just 23 minutes, the Laffey had been hit by 2 bombs and 2 kamikazes. She was burning, unsteerable, dozens dead and wounded. Any other ship would have ordered abandon ship, but then something extraordinary happened. A communications officer approached Becton, voice shaking. "Commander, should we abandon ship?" Becton turned. His face was black with soot. Blood ran from a cut above his eye. He looked at the fires, the bodies, the wreckage, and then he said the words that defined the day. "No, I will never abandon this ship as long as a single gun can still fire." It wasn't an order, it was a promise. The human miracle. This is the part statistics never capture. What makes ordinary men do the impossible. In shattered gun mounts, 18 and 19-year-old gunners stayed at their posts while flames melted the paint around them, firing blindly through smoke, aiming only by the sound of engines. Ensign Robert Thompson took command of a battery after his superior was killed, coordinating anti-aircraft fire with surgical precision amid flying shrapnel. He would later receive the Navy Cross posthumously. Lieutenant T.W. Runk spotted an unexploded Japanese bomb smoking on deck, seconds from detonation. He ran to it, grabbed it with his bare hands, and threw it overboard. And 2 small ships deserve remembrance: LCS L-51 and LCS L-116. Lightly armed landing craft, they pulled alongside the burning destroyer and shot down 6 enemy planes. Commander Howell D. Chickering of LCS-51 earned the Navy Cross. Between 9 and 9:30, 3 more aircraft struck the Laffey. A Japanese Oscar dropped a bomb into Mount 52, killing 3 and wounding 5. A Judy dive bomber released its payload straight into the ammunition spaces. The explosion was apocalyptic. 5-inch ammo detonated in chain reactions. The stern became a towering column of fire and smoke, and still the guns kept firing. 9:47 a.m. The last Japanese plane turned away. Silence. Not peace, but devastation. Crackling fires, moans of the wounded, twisted metal groaning. The USS Laffey was alive. Technically, she looked like an industrial nightmare. 4 of 5 main gun turrets destroyed or disabled. Holes in the hull. The aft deck burned clean. 32 men dead, 71 wounded, out of a crew of 336, but she did not sink. Naval engineers later stared in disbelief. The numbers said she had less than 1% chance of survival. But numbers don't measure will. They don't account for men who refuse to quit. They don't calculate what a commander who's already lost one ship will do to save another. A legacy that still floats. The Laffey was towed for repairs, returned to service, fought in the Korean War. She was finally decommissioned in 1975. Today, she rests as a museum ship at Patriots Point, Charleston, South Carolina. You can walk her decks, touch her guns, see bomb scars still visible in the steel. Over 100,000 visitors come every year. She's a National Historic Landmark, but she's more than steel and history. She's proof of something we forget. Defeat isn't decided by what happens to you, but by when you decide to stop fighting. The U.S. Navy awarded the Laffey the Presidential Unit Citation. Commander Becton received the Navy Cross. Dozens of crewmen earned silver and bronze stars. But the greatest honor is the name she earned and never lost, the ship that would not die. April 16, 1945 taught a lesson no manual ever could. Equipment can fail, strategy can fail, even luck can fail. But a group of men who refuse to accept the end, that's something even hell can't sink. Life will throw 22 attacks at you. It will jam your rudder, set your world on fire, force you to sail in circles while everything collapses. But fate doesn't decide when you go under. You do. And if 336 men on a steel hull in the middle of the ocean could look at hell and say, "Not today," maybe you can too. If the courage of the USS Laffey moved you, honor the 32 men who gave everything by sharing this story with someone who needs it. And tell me in the comments, what other impossible naval battle should we cover next? Subscribe, because every week we dive into the stories the ocean tries to bury, but the world must never forget. The ocean is deep, but never as deep as the courage of those who challenged it.